Underground cities aren't just legends. Turkey has Derinkuyu. India is home to ancient underground structures. And now there's an intriguing new discovery in Egypt. On March 15, 2025, researchers revealed a find that challenges what we know: a massive structure beneath Khafra's pyramid. This underground city astonishes even the most enthusiastic fans of the subject. Experts claim to have discovered chambers reminiscent of the famous king's and queen's chambers in the Great Pyramid, but this time attached to Khafra's pyramid. There are 5 sealed modules, shaped somewhat like houses with sloped roofs, as well as 8 large cylindrical blocks descending vertically underground. Each cylinder has a spiral pattern around it, reminiscent of devices that, at first glance, could be mistaken for Tesla coils from an ancient era. This news sparks both fascination and skepticism. After all, how could ancient stones have been carved into such perfect cylindrical shapes, possibly hollow, without modern techniques? There's no definitive explanation yet, but the possibility that ancient civilizations possessed advanced technological knowledge continues to capture everyone's imagination. Throughout history, many civilizations dug massive circular wells to reach underground water. Even after finding a source, they'd keep digging by hand, reaching incredible depths. This wasn't something unique to Egypt. In India, for example, there are spiral wells that go down multiple levels. What really grabs attention isn't the shape of these wells, but how deep they actually go underground. Recent studies show some of them reach depths of about 648 meters. To put that into perspective, the famous underground city of Derinkuyu in Turkey reaches 18 levels, but only about 60 meters deep. If these findings are accurate, we might be looking at something that could change our understanding of ancient construction entirely. The difference in scale is huge, almost impossible to picture. This discovery raises questions about the methods these civilizations used and encourages us to rethink our own history and archaeology. Everyone knows that famous figure in New York. Seeing it up close is impressive, with people looking like tiny dots next to the Statue of Liberty. She stands 34 meters tall from heel to head. Now imagine a space so deep you could stack 20 of these statues inside each underground cylinder. That alone is astonishing, but there's more. Multiply that height by 8, and you're looking at 160 statues of Liberty, a measurement that defines not just the depth, but also the total width of these structures. The technology needed for something like this is impressive even today. To put it into perspective, there's only one building in the entire world taller than that, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, and constructing it above ground was incredibly challenging. Now imagine the complexity of building something this massive underground. And that's not all. Right beneath these cylinders are 2 enormous cube-shaped structures, each side measuring around 80 meters, taller than a 20-story building. It's a project so grand that it leaves you speechless, sparking curiosity about what it took to make it a reality. Secret chambers beneath Khafra's pyramid have fascinated researchers for decades. Some believe these chambers might hold ancient knowledge or documents, while others suggest connections to lost civilizations like the legendary Atlantis. There are even theories about reptilian beings called Nagas, or a secret military base linked to modern societies. But what's really down in this underground complex, which radar, SARS scans, show stretches over a mile beneath the Giza Plateau? Many people wonder how it was possible to scan the pyramid, especially since Egyptian authorities rarely allow research of this kind. In fact, there was no official permission granted to explore the area. Instead, the analysis came from orbiting satellites operated by a private company, which sent radar signals from more than 600 kilometers above Earth. This was the method chosen to gather data while avoiding the restrictions imposed by those responsible for preserving the pyramids. Egypt is known for limiting in-depth investigations into its monuments. Even Dr. Zahi Hawass, a prominent figure in Egyptian archaeology, often refers to enthusiasts of these theories as pyramidiot fanatics. Who gets labeled a pyramidiot fanatic? Basically, anyone who questions the idea that Egypt's pyramids were built solely as tombs. Traditional Egyptology insists these structures were meant to hold the dead, with no room for other explanations. But if the Great Pyramid was really just a tomb, why would it be perfectly aligned with the 4 cardinal points? Has anyone ever seen a modern tomb with that kind of alignment? And how can we explain the fact that the 3 pyramids of Giza match the positions of the 3 stars in Orion's belt? It doesn't seem like something a family would plan when designing a burial site, right? Plus, there's the enormous size of these structures and the complex passageways inside them. All this leads many people to conclude that they weren't built just to store human remains, an idea that often gets them accused of being pyramidiot fanatics. Now, new names are being added to that list. Researchers who have released radar scans and images of the underground structures, raising even more doubts about the real purpose of these monuments. Some researchers say Egypt's pyramids weren't built just as tombs, and that there's much more behind these structures. According to them, the visible part of Khafra's pyramid today might be just a small piece of something much larger, as if nearly all its real structure were hidden underground. That's a perspective that goes against traditional Egyptology, especially when they start talking about SAR technology and a Khafra project for all humanity. Taking this different stance clearly shows they're not trying to follow the mainstream path. They know they'll face criticism and might even be ridiculed in the name of so-called peer review. On top of that, authorities usually deny permission for digging or doing deeper research at these sites, making it even harder to find physical evidence. It's no surprise to see influential figures like Dr. Zahi Hawass appearing in the media accusing these researchers of spreading false information. Can we really trust this technology? And more importantly, has it produced concrete results before? The answer is yes. In 2022, researchers used the same scanning method on the Great Pyramid of Giza, right next to Khafra's pyramid. The results were published in the scientific journal Remote Sensing and accurately revealed the known chambers and passages inside the structure. When comparing the scan images to existing records, everything matched up perfectly. At the time, nobody doubted the effectiveness of the system, since the data just confirmed what we already knew. However, when the same technology was used on Khafra's pyramid and revealed what appeared to be underground structures, the reaction was totally different. Mainstream media hesitated to accept that something so extensive might exist beneath it, leading to a wave of skepticism. Some people think we're looking at an extraordinary discovery, while others say it's just a scientific misunderstanding. Most people tend to follow stories that gain popularity around them, instead of digging into detailed scientific information. When we come across multiple sources saying the same thing, it's natural to assume it's true. If you watch 10 YouTube videos and 8 of them claim something is fake, you'll probably see it as a rumor. But if on another platform 10 posts insist it's real, your perception shifts. This behavior has a name: social proof. It's a bias everyone has. Just think about how public opinion regarding Russia and Ukraine has shifted back and forth. One moment, most people blame Russia. Another moment, narratives emerge blaming Ukraine. When the storyteller changes, the story changes too. And the truth is, most people will never fully understand everything happening behind the scenes. So is there really an underground system beneath Khafra's pyramid? There's no guarantee it's real, but there's also no guarantee it's not. The best we can do is keep looking for solid evidence. The lingering question is, how can we prove or disprove it beyond any doubt? The answer depends on continuing the investigation without simply accepting the version that's repeated most often. There are signs that something unusual might be hidden beneath Egypt's surface. If authorities decided to dig in easily accessible areas, they'd quickly settle once and for all whether there really are artificial structures down there or not. This straightforward approach could clear things up, especially since many people genuinely believe there might be some ancient buried construction. However, concerns pop up. What if these supposed structures are just natural limestone formations, like caves or deep cracks? We know the area is filled with fissures and depressions. But could nature really create 8 identical cylinders, aligned at the same depth, all ending in 2 cubes? This raises suspicion that it might not be purely geological. With all these questions, the possibility of human construction becomes more believable. Now we just have to wait and see if investigations will confirm or debunk these rumors, or if it'll stay another mystery buried in the desert. One of the biggest questions involves the height of the water table. On the Giza Plateau, water sits about 15 meters below the surface. Around Khafra's pyramid, where the ground is slightly higher, the water level reaches around 30 meters deep. So if these structures really extend more than 600 meters down, it wouldn't just be an underground excavation, it'd also be underwater. The issue arises when we think about SR technology, which can't see through water to map what's beneath. If the goal is scanning the area from above, it would have to overcome at least 30 meters of water before hitting any possible tunnels or chambers. Still, researchers say they've captured details below this layer, raising doubts. Maybe there's an explanation for how these scans succeeded, but right now it's not clear. It's not. Researchers involved in this discovery argue that more analysis at the site is essential. They suggest using advanced technologies like seismic imaging and muon detection to confirm what they found. They're genuinely determined to leave no doubts about the existence of this ancient underground city. Still, there's a chance local authorities and more conservative groups might make access difficult and question the credibility of the science. Over time, this discovery could fade away if there's no transparency and support to continue the research. The most intriguing point is figuring out who might have explored this mysterious structure, if it indeed is real. Did ancient groups know about it and keep it secret? Or are their records hidden from the public? Thanks for watching and following this analysis. I'm Praveen Mohan, and if you enjoyed this content, subscribe. I'll be back soon with more updates. See you next time.